Okay, so let's be real. If you've ever felt like modern marketing is just this chaotic, impossible mess of social media, ads, and algorithms, you are not crazy. But what if I told you there's actually a really clear pattern underneath it all? Today, we're going to break down how marketing completely changed and how you can make sense of it all with a simple framework of just 4 battlefields. I mean, just look at this contrast, right? Back in 1995, building a brand was a game for giants. You needed deep pockets for TV commercials and billboards, but today, a teenager with a smartphone can build a global brand from their bedroom. That's not just a small change, that is a seismic shift. It's proof that all the old rules are completely broken.
And this quote right here, it perfectly captures the whole point of this explainer. The products we buy might be kind of similar, but the way we find out about them, the way we trust them and connect with them, it's been totally turned on its head. Marketing itself evolved, and honestly, most businesses are still playing catch-up.
So to really get where we are now, we have to go back to where we started. Let's rewind the clock to the old world, a time when getting a customer's attention was, believe it or not, actually pretty simple. Think about it. In the mid-90s, the recipe for building a huge brand was super straightforward. Step 1, you make a great TV commercial. Step 2, you back it up with newspaper and billboard ads. And Step 3, the secret ingredient, a giant advertising budget. If you had those 3 things, you could pretty much own an entire market. And why did this formula work so well? Well, it's because attention was completely centralized. Everybody watched the same 3 or 4 TV shows, they read the same handful of newspapers, and they all drove past the same billboards on their way to work. So if you had enough cash to be in those few powerful places, you could reach millions of people, like instantly. Marketing was predictable. And then, well, you know what happened. Everything changed. Let's talk about the great fragmentation, the revolution that was sparked by the arrival of the internet. You know, at first, it wasn't obvious. The internet just felt like another channel, another place to put an ad. But slowly, bit by bit, it began to pry apart the very foundations of that old, predictable system. The center just couldn't hold anymore. So where did all that attention go? Everywhere. It just splintered. It scattered across websites, search engines, niche online forums, email newsletters, and then, of course, the absolute explosion of social media. That single massive fire hose of attention shattered into a million tiny streams. And there's a name for this whole shift: attention fragmentation. It's the core challenge that pretty much every modern business is facing. Your audience isn't gathered in one big stadium anymore. They're all scattered around thousands of tiny digital campfires. So all this fragmentation, it didn't lead to some new, amazing clarity. No, it led directly to what we can call the age of chaos. And it created this new character, the perpetually overwhelmed marketer. We've all been there. All of a sudden, marketers were facing this tidal wave of new stuff they had to learn. It wasn't just advertising anymore. Now it was search marketing and social media marketing and influencer marketing and content and email and affiliate and community marketing. The list just kept on growing. Marketing stopped being simple and it got really, really complicated. So how did most businesses react? Well, they kind of panicked. They tried to do everything all at once. They started running ads on every single platform, making pages on every social network, hiring random influencers, launching blogs and email campaigns, all at the same time. But this whole spray and pray approach, it almost never worked. Instead, it just led to budgets being spread way too thin, strategies becoming a complete muddle, and marketing efforts that just felt, well, totally chaotic and disconnected. But thankfully, the story doesn't end in chaos, because smart marketers started to see a pattern emerging from all that noise. This is the moment of clarity. Let's dive into this new way of thinking, the 4 battlefields. See, what they figured out was that marketing hadn't become impossible, it had just evolved. The game wasn't over. It's just that the rules had completely changed. And instead of there being just one way to win, there were now several different paths to success. And this, right here, is the new map of the marketing world. We can organize all of that chaos into 4 big battlefields. First, you've got paid marketing. That's simple. You buy attention, like with a Google ad. Then there's owned marketing, where you build your own audience with content, like a great blog or newsletter. Next up is earned marketing, which is all about getting people to talk about you. Think of a viral video. And finally, community marketing, which is about creating a real sense of belonging, like a super active forum for your customers. And this is exactly how companies are winning today.
Yeah, some still dominate by spending a ton on ads, but so many others are winning by creating incredible content, or by generating authentic word of mouth, or by building these passionate, loyal communities. There is absolutely more than one way to win this game. Which brings us to the final, and maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle. The secret to modern success isn't about trying to be everywhere. It's about deliberately choosing your battle. So here's the bottom line. The losing strategy, the one that leads to total burnout and chaos, is trying to fight on all 4 of these battlefields at the same time. The winning strategy, you analyze your business, your product, your customers, and you choose the one battlefield that makes the most sense for you, and then you pour all your energy into mastering it. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Success today is no longer about who has the biggest wallet. It's about who has the clearest strategy. It's about who really, truly understands their customer and knows exactly where their attention actually lives. Which leaves us with the one big question you need to ask yourself, or your team. Looking at these 4 options, which battlefield is the right one for your business to go out and dominate? Now, that's a huge question, I know, but don't worry, we're not going to leave you hanging. In our next explainers, we're going to dive deep into each one of these battlefields: paid, owned, earned, and community. And we're going to give you the playbook for how to win on each one. So make sure you stick around for that.